What is up, guys? Welcome back to Jersey Nick Moto, and today I'm going to take you on a little tour through my hometown of Bayonne, New Jersey. We are heading over the North Bay extension, and now I'm going to be 43 years old in November, and from what I can remember, they've been doing construction on this bridge for at least 40 years. And it never, ever, ever gets done. See, we're crossing over to North Bay. You may not know that Bayonne, New Jersey is a peninsula. It's only connected by land on its north side to Jersey City. On the east side is the Hudson River. On the west side is the North Bay. And on the south side is the Killavan Col right across from Staten Island, New York. That's Bayonne off to the right in the distance, if you can see it. We're going to be getting off exit 14A. 14A, stay away. If it's from Bayonne, leave it alone. We got Manhattan off to the left, Manhattan, New York. Yeah, 14A, stay away. If it's from Bayonne, leave it alone. I heard that my whole life. However, I have a long list of ex-girlfriends that did not heed that warning. I guess most people would say I'm your #1 example of Bayonne trash right here. But I didn't think of it that way. I loved growing up here. And as I mentioned in other videos, it seems like people from Bayonne always are very proud of their hometown. So we're going to take a quick ride through it today. Show you a little bit of the neighborhood where I grew up as we get off exit 14A of the New Jersey Turnpike. This is also how I get to work every morning. I work in Jersey City, but I get off this exit. So this is about a 17-mile, probably $10 round trip today, as we'll hit the easy pass in a second here. It is wet out this morning. Alright, first thing I'll do, I'll take you past the house I grew up in, since it's right off the turnpike. I have to go around the block. This is East 52nd. I grew up on East 51st. On the east side of town between Broadway and Avenue E. Now a lot has changed about this town since I grew up here and moved out 8 years ago. Like this TCBY on the corner, that used to be the corner deli, open 24 hours. No matter what time of the night, you could go get your milk, your lottery tickets, whatever you needed. We also got to pay attention when we're riding through here because it's kind of kill or be killed. That's why I came early on a Sunday morning. Hopefully a lot of people are still sleeping, but we'll see. Alright, we're going to bang this left on East 51st, or as we used to say, bust this Lucy, and I'll show you where I grew up. This block has also changed a lot. Alright, this white two-family house right here. The 2 SUVs in the driveway. That's it. I lived on every floor of that house at some point in my life. That's where I grew up. Right across the street from the factory. And that's what you get for $15,000 a year in property taxes in North Jersey. But I'm not bagging on it. I got a lot of great memories growing up there. We'll head back on up to Broadway, the main drag. I had a lot of good memories growing up on that block. We were right around the block from the projects. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore, if you could call them projects, but that's what we called them. But that was actually a really fun block to grow up on. And 2 doors up from there, from that house, there was a guy named Mark that had a bunch of old Harleys, and I used to watch him start them up and go to work every day, and that's where the addiction started. So if I didn't grow up on that block, I might not be into motorcycles. Alright, this is a brand new apartment building. These are popping up all over the place now. This Used to be Resnick's Hardware over here. Used to be a little park on the corner. Fellow YouTuber Rusty the Biker, he lived here for a few years in this area. So Rusty, if you're watching, some of this might look familiar. Piero's Music, where I learned to play the guitar. We're going to be coming up on Magic Fountain, the ice cream parlor on our right. That's been here for years. Magic Fountain. On the left, Vector Comics. Used to be Tina and Scords. That's where Rusty used to hang out. So, buddy, if you're watching, I'll send you this video. Hopefully some of this looks familiar. But this town has changed a lot over the years. Again, we're going down Broadway, the main drag. And growing up here is also why I like to walk so much, because I walked everywhere in this town. You didn't really need a car. You know, they got everything on every corner. If you had to buy groceries, you wanted to go to the bar, you wanted to, hell, there's probably 1,000 pizza places in this town. So I walked these streets many years. Alex and Terry's, they had good Polish food. Went to high school with the owner of that deli. That's been there a long time. Judicki's Bakery, famous for their sprinkled donuts. I must say they have gotten a lot smaller over the years, their donuts, but they're still pretty good. This used to be Holiday Tree and Trim, where you bought all your Christmas stuff, but they recently knocked that down. That's been closed for a long time. You know we're in Bayonne because the guy behind me is about 2 inches off my back fender as we stop at the light. There's really no regard for human life when you drive in North Jersey. Don't mean to offend anybody, it's just true. Hendrickson's on the right, got pretty good hamburgers. That bar's been there forever. Lighthouse Restaurant, that's been there a long time. Let me get this guy off my ass. A little bit of why I friggin' hate people who want to move out to the woods, but anyway. Right now we're going into what I guess you would call the heart of the town center. The big old post office on our left. That used to be an old bank. They knocked that down. That was there forever. I don't know what they're going to put there. Probably another apartment building. And quite honestly, a lot of the stores that were here when I was a kid, they all closed up, and you're getting a lot of, I guess I'd call them junk stores. I don't know. We're going to continue down a little bit, down Broadway. And you can't talk about Bayonne without talking about the famous Bayonne leader, Chuck Wepner. He grew up here, famously fought Muhammad Ali. And you'll still see him riding around sometime in his Lincoln. He's got plates that say the champ. Now coming up on our left is Pompeii Pizza. I worked there for years as a kid, delivering pizza. My buddy Frankie owns it now. A lot of the bars I hung out in, they're gone now, or they changed names. And our routine would be, well, that was the early evening bars, because we'd go there around 8 o'clock and hang out, and then we'd make our way 15 minutes away to the town of Hoboken and stay there till 2 in the morning. And then after that, we'd go through the Holland Tunnel into Manhattan, to New York City, and stay there till sometime the next day. And those are a lot of stories I cannot tell on YouTube. Jerry's Drug, that's been there forever. And for some reason, we used to hang out on that corner a lot. I don't know why. Used to be a pool hole on the left over here. That's gone. We are heading downtown now. That used to be the Big Apple over there. I know I didn't get you quite a good look at it. That was a bar we'd hang out in a lot. That's gone. But I must say, I did have a lot of fun in this town. I miss it sometimes, but I wouldn't want to live here today. You know, you change over the years. There was a time where I said to myself I would never leave this place. I would never leave the hustle and bustle, all that comes along with it, but as I grew older, I've just become the total opposite. More new luxury apartments. I can imagine what the rents are in these things. If I had to guess, I would say over $2,000 a month. They're trying to get in a lot of people that work in Manhattan, since we're only about 15 minutes away. There's the light rail you could take over to the path to go over there. Like I said, the Holland Tunnel without traffic's only like 15 minutes from here. They're trying to attract that yuppie crowd. I mean, I guess they're being successful that I wouldn't keep putting the buildings up. On the left, that Broadway bistro, that just used to be the downtown diner. You had the downtown diner and the uptown one. I used to hang out at the uptown one. That's where we used to go to eat breakfast when we came back from hanging out all night. Now we're going into the Bergen Point section of Bayonne. Up there is where the light rail runs. That'll take you to Hoboken, Jersey City. I think it goes to North Bergen and stuff. Let's go scare the pigeons under here. Mona Lisa's Pizza, they got pretty good food. I had to make a quick battery change, so I hope I didn't lose any footage. But so, alright, straight ahead of us is First Street Park, Kill-A-Van Call, Staten Island on the other side of the water. Looked like they took a bunch of the section of the park away and they're going to build something where this fence is up. That is the Bayonne Bridge in the distance. That'll take you to Staten Island. We used to hang out in Staten Island a lot too, but for some reason that always used to end up in some kind of fight. Again, I can't tell little stories on YouTube. I'd have to change the names to protect the not so innocent. But if you ever meet me in person, I'll share a couple. Some of them are pretty funny. They actually had to raise that bridge a few years ago because the cargo ships that go under there were just getting too big to fit. They actually kept the bridge open for most of the time while they raised it, which is pretty impressive. You could drive over that or walk over that. I've walked over it a time or two. And speaking of Staten Island, New York and the Bayonne Bridge, you should check out YouTuber Windrow Therapy. Desiree's a really nice lady. I got the pleasure of meeting her when I stopped by VAM back in June, the original VAM, not the mini VAM I went to in August. And she grew up over in Staten Island. And of course, you know, we didn't know each other back then, but it's always cool when you meet people through YouTube that come from the same area of the country as you do. So go check her out. She has really good videos. Now she's retired and she travels around the country pulling her toy hauler with her motorcycle on the back. And she's all over the place. She's putting out some really good stuff. So go check out Windrow Therapy. These houses right here under the bridge might look familiar to you. If you ever saw the Tom Cruise movie War of the Worlds, they actually, I think they blew up the bridge and a couple of those houses in the movie. They filmed some of that in Bayonne. Alright, back on track with my new battery and we're going down Kennedy Boulevard now. The boulevard will take you all the way into Jersey City up to, I think, what, North Bergen, Union City if you keep going. We're not going to go that far. Where we are going to go, though, eventually I'm going to go up to Avenue A and I'm going to take you past Bayonne High School, where I went to high school. Alright, where could we make a left? I could have made a left there. A lot of one-way streets here. So we'll go up 9th Street. So take us up to Avenue A. And now we're on Avenue A, which is the west side of town. If you go down any of these streets to my left, they're all mostly dead ends, and you'll have the Newark Bay down there. So those people get a view of the Port Newark, where the container ships come in, and Newark Airport. What I don't like about riding here is you just gotta watch these side streets, because people just shoot out and don't look. And this is actually, you know, I learned to ride a motorcycle in this town. And believe me, if it was a little later in the day, you'd see what the traffic is like around here, and you know you'd be ready for anything. Actually, before we get to Bayonne High School, I'll take you down here to the high school stadium. I think they did it over since the last I've seen it. This is where the Bayonne High School football team plays. And it'll be right across from the Newark Bay, as I said earlier. Oh yeah, it looks like they did do some work on the stadium. Yep, so this is Veterans Stadium. I believe it's still called that. You come down here, see a Bayonne High School football game. I wasn't into that stuff. I was kind of a loner skateboarder, just hanging out type in high school. That's Bayonne High School. We'll see it from the front when I come back around. This would be like where a lot of people would take their kids to learn how to drive. I remember my grandfather taking me down here when I was learning how to drive, and then when I got my first car, he taught me how to drive stick down here, going around the stadium, and There's Newark, the Port Newark, and the container ships across the way. Back that way more would be the airport over our right shoulder, but that's Newark Bay. Oh yeah, you're in Bayonne when you're setting the car alarms off. Somebody will probably come out and throw something at me sooner or later. Alright, so on our left, this is Bayonne High School. It was pretty damn big. This is the main building, or as they called it, the old building. And then in between these two buildings is the bridge you had to walk across. That's the bridge. And that would take you to the newer building. Not so new anymore. But yeah, it was a big school. And I will say I had a lot of fun in that place. That was many years ago. I graduated in 1997. Alright, we're back down on Broadway. Now I'm going to show you, if you want to come and get good Italian cold cuts, and get a really good sandwich, I'm going to show you where to go. Benanti's Italian Delicatessen. Go see Charlie. This place has been open since I've been a little kid. Now there are a few places you can get some decent Italian food in Bayonne, but if you want cold cuts, this is where I've been going for years. Right up here on 22nd Street. It's going to be a little storefront coming up on your left, Benanti's Delicatessen. This little place right here. They have great cold cuts. Really good sandwiches. Go in there, stop and see Charlie. He's not yelling at you, he's just Italian. That's how he talks. Alright, there's probably a lot more places I could show you around town, but I don't want this video to go on forever. I just wanted to give you a little peek into where I grew up. So I guess how we'll end it is I'll take you for a ride through the park. When I was growing up, it was Hudson County Park. Now I believe it's Stephen Gregg Park. There's City Hall. So we'll make our way back up to Kennedy Boulevard here, and I'll take you to the park. Yeah, Stephen Gregg Bayonne County Park. That's what it's called now. This is the top of the park, then it goes down by the Newark Bay, so take you around the top, then we'll go down the hill. The leaves are starting to fall. It's actually Halloween morning when I'm filming this video. You're probably watching it sometime in November. This always was a nice park. Nice park to come walk through, ride your bike through. They got some baseball fields down the bottom and a track. A lot of people go crabbing down here. I wouldn't eat crabs out of the Newark Bay myself, but hey, to each their own. I'm sure some of those crabs glow or have some extra claws on them. That lady with the 5 dogs giving me dirty looks. I'll loop around this little gazebo thing and go down the hill. I will take a little walk over to the Newark Bay before I leave. I'm going to end this video here. There's really not much else to see. That bridge over there to our right, that's the Newark Bay extension that we came over in the beginning of this video. That's where I'll be going now to head home. So I just want to thank everybody for watching Jersey Nick Moto. I hope you enjoyed this little tour and got a little taste of where I grew up. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot. Don't forget to leave me a like, leave me a comment. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Keep your head on a swivel out there. Thanks for watching. Later.